About 350 million years ago, Earth was the image of a living nightmare. In the swampy, suffocating forests of the Carboniferous period, life thrived beneath a heavy, oxygen-rich atmosphere. Among the trunks of giant ferns and towering horsetails, nameless creatures crawled, buzzed, and hovered above the ground. Insects so large they would make modern animals look like miniatures. The world, wrapped in deep green and dense mist, was ruled by colossal arthropods. Dragonflies the size of hawks, centipedes as long as crocodiles, and scorpions nearly a meter in length moved as the absolute masters of this prehistoric empire. The air was so rich in oxygen, about 35% compared to today's 21%, that it allowed these creatures to grow beyond any imaginable limit. Nothing at that time threatened their reign. The forests did not decay. Trees died and simply sank into the swamps, accumulating for millions of years. These vast layers of plant matter would one day form the coal deposits we know today. But back then, they created a cycle without decomposition, trapping carbon and flooding the atmosphere with oxygen. This excess fueled the primitive lungs of the giants and turned the planet into a flammable world, where a single lightning strike could ignite an entire continent. For millions of years, insects ruled the earth, in the air, on land, and in the shallow waters. They evolved, thrived, and shaped an ecosystem that would never exist again. But like every story of greatness, the empire of giants was destined to fall. The planet breathed fire. With so much oxygen in the atmosphere, the Carboniferous forests were true explosive traps. A single lightning strike could turn the swampy ground into a burning inferno. Flames spread at insane speed, leaping from tree to tree, devouring even wet wood. Even after the storm had passed, the air remained heavy, filled with smoke and ashes. But that same excess of oxygen was what sustained the monsters of that age. These creatures breathed through microscopic tubes called tracheae, which carried air directly into their tissues. In a normal world, this would limit their size. The larger the body, the harder it would be to breathe. But in that super-oxygenated air, biology itself was temporarily suspended. The impossible became natural. Imagine a dragonfly with wings over 70 centimeters wide, capable of catching small reptiles in mid-air. They were known as meganeura, and they ruled the planet's skies. Their wings made the air vibrate like the hum of ancient propellers, and their compound eyes watched everything. Nothing escaped their sight. On the ground, giant millipedes crawled between rotting logs. Called arthropleura, these titans stretched up to 8 feet long and weighed more than 90 pounds. They moved slowly, but no predator could challenge them. They fed on decaying leaves, roots, and even small creatures. Lords of the shadows, protected by armor-hard exoskeletons. The world was silent, suffocating. The humid air swallowed every sound among the towering trees. Everything seemed eternal. But the balance of that age of fire and oxygen was starting to crumble. The planet itself, silently, was preparing the fall of its giants. As the ages passed, Earth changed in silence. The first bacteria capable of breaking down wood appeared, and the natural cycle of life was complete. Now, when trees died, they returned carbon to the atmosphere. The oxygen, once abundant, began to fall. The humid forests fractured. The swamps dried out, and with the thinning air, the giants began to fade away. Dragonflies, once the size of birds, shrank. The colossal centipedes became shadows of what they once were. The world that once breathed fire began to suffocate. But the final blow did not come from the climate alone. New hunters appeared, with feathers, wings, and hunger. The first birds cut through the sky in search of easy prey. And the great insects were perfect targets. Size, once a symbol of strength, became a fatal weakness. Being large meant being slow, visible, vulnerable. Evolution reversed the balance. Survival now required being small, agile, and unseen. And when bats appeared millions of years later, the night itself gained its hunters. The reign of the giants ended with the silent beating of new wings in the dark. Centuries later, the mystery of these colossal beings became a field of study. Researchers analyzed more than 10,000 fossils of flying insects, cross-referencing them with Earth's oxygen levels. They discovered a perfect pattern. The more oxygen, the larger the insects. But that rule was broken around 150 million years ago. Even when the air became rich in oxygen again, they never grew back. That's when scientists realized fear had become evolution's new limit. With predators in the sky, the world would never be the same again. Today, only fossils remain, shadows of an unimaginable past. Fragments of wings the size of human hands, footprints pressed into ancient stone, and pieces of exoskeletons as large as tree trunks. They are scars from an era when the planet belonged to creatures that breathed too much. If we could return in time, the sound would be deafening. Low, buzzing tones, wings vibrating in the humid heat, heavy steps over living mud. A world where every breath was fuel, and every spark could set the horizon on fire. The giants of the past did not vanish in vain. They are a reminder that Earth always collects the price of imbalance. The same air that made them grow was the air that choked them. Today, the planet is changing again, and this time, we are the cause. Perhaps in the future, someone will find our remains and ask the same question. How could creatures so powerful disappear so fast? The fossils of the giants are more than relics. They are warnings, silent messages from time itself whispering, Earth always adapts. But not everyone living on it survives the change.